Go get him.
Logano now looks inside. Chastain throws a big block.
3 more. Still there, bumper.
Joey Logano slides up in front of Ross Chastain.
Fairly clear. Clear up. You're better. Drive away.
From the round of 8 to the final 4, Joey Logano.
Hell yeah. Nice job. Let's go get a championship, baby. Let's get one.
Hey race fans, welcome to the preview show delivered by DoorDash. I'm Kim Kuhn alongside Alan Cavanna, and the NASCAR Cup Series is headed west to Las Vegas to kick off the round of 8.
8 playoff drivers. If one of them wins, they have a 25% shot at a title, Kim. So much on the line this weekend.
Well, the good news for those drivers is they raced Vegas earlier this year. So what do their notebooks tell us about what we could see this weekend?
Those notebooks say a lot. It's like having the answers to the test already. I talked to some crew chiefs who said if you had a good run out in Vegas in the spring, you can build off that. You can bring your notebook, so they're happy about that. If you had a bad run, you're hoping a lot has changed in these last few months to maybe bring something different fortune. But it's the same Goodyear tires, so teams rely a lot on those notes. That's important for them. What I'm really thinking about, though, is what the teams learned at the end of that spring race. Remember, it was a late caution. Martin Truex Jr. decides to stay out on the racetrack. William Byron and crew, they come in, get 2 tires. Guess who won the race? That 24 car that dominated throughout the day. So that's a valuable lesson learned, possibly, for Sunday.
It's Vegas, so you got to be willing to gamble, but what's the right gamble? For William, they got the right gamble in the spring, and I think they're the team to look at this weekend. You look at what Hendrick did in general. They finished 1, 2, 3 at Vegas in the spring, but for William, they led 176 laps. Not only that, I talked to Rudy Fugle, the crew chief, over the weekend, and he said as soon as they punched their ticket and won that Texas race into this round, they completely refocused, rebudgeted their prep time, their sim time to look at this round, to look at Vegas, to be able to do well this weekend. So I'm looking at Willie Lee.
Yeah, that's so valuable. They have that. And look, I go back and forth with who is really dominating the mile-and-a-half tracks, because William Byron dominated Vegas. But then if you compare it to Kansas, look who won Kansas this year. The Toyotas. Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick. If you throw Darlington in the mix, that was Hendrick dominated. So I go back and forth. I wish I could predict the future. I can't.
Oh, don't we all? All right, so who are we concerned about?
Yeah, well, look, let's look at the points, because right when that green flag drops, 4 drivers are technically out of it already, right? Chris Buescher, Tyler Reddick, Christopher Bell, and Ryan Blaney. Of those 4, Bell had the best Vegas race back in the spring. He finished 5th. But again, remember, Tyler Reddick just won Kansas. Very similar to Las Vegas. Not worried about him. Ryan Blaney had the win at Charlotte, mile-and-a-half track. I don't know if I should be worried about him. I think Tyler Reddick will be fine. So I don't know who, when we get down to this final 8, there's so many good drivers, it's hard to pick a weakness.
You mentioned Ryan Blaney winning Charlotte, but I just don't know. The Fords to me at intermediates haven't been great, so I'm a little concerned about Ryan Blaney and Chris Buescher as we kick off this round. But really, nobody's safe, because you look at Byron at the top of the board. He's only 20 points to the good. Martin Truex 15. To me, nobody is safe. They have to have a really good race at Vegas, whether they win or score a lot of points, to set themselves up for success this round and find themselves a spot in Phoenix. All right, so it's time to get the playoff polls, the good, the bad, and the wild card. So let's start with the good.
I'm going easy here. William Byron, come on. Look at the data. Look what he did in Vegas, how he dominated, how he got that win, just all the speed that he's had. He will be good in Vegas. Again, they're building off that win.
Hard to argue with that.
Right.
He took my answer. William Byron, you look at what they did in the last round, a finish of 1, 2, and 2. 3 straight races of top 2 finishes. Like we mentioned earlier, he punched his ticket to this round early. They've gotten to be able to use that extra time to focus on Vegas and this round. Not only that, he's the only driver that's got multiple wins on mile-and-a-halves this season.
All right, that's the good. How about your bad?
Oh, my bad. Martin Truex Jr. I know. You wonder why, though, and that's because you look at his last 7 races, he has not finished better than 15, hasn't been scoring a lot of points, and this is the worst streak we've seen from this team since 2009.
Wow, but he did so good in Vegas, so I wonder what he's got there.
I don't know. All right, for you?
I'm going Chris Buescher. Chris Buescher is having a great season, a career year, but never a top 5 finish at a mile-and-a-half racetrack. That stat kind of blew my mind, especially when we're here in the final 8 trying to get to that championship 4 in Phoenix. Not what you want to hear, Chris Buescher. I'm worried about you.
That's interesting. Your bad is Chris Buescher. My wild card is Chris Buescher. That's only because he has had a career year. He's surprised us at so many tracks this year, has had his best finishes at a lot of tracks. Maybe this weekend we'll see that in Vegas. And collectively, not just Vegas, if you look at this round as a whole, yes, maybe you're worried about him at the mile-and-a-halves, but he's such a good short track racer. racer, and I look at that Martinsville race at the end of this round.
All right, he's got to make it to there, though. We'll
Yeah.
see. My wild card, you mentioned him earlier as your bad, though. Martin Truex Jr. Will the real 19 car and team please stand up? You said it. It's been since mid-August since he's had a top 15 finish, yet here he is in the final 8, still competing for the title. And we know what he did in the spring at Las Vegas, nearly grabbed a win there. The Toyotas are good on the mile-and-a-half racetracks. Will he snap out of this? I don't know. That is why Martin Truex Jr. is my wild card for the weekend.
All right, well, the saying, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, that is not true because we are digging up some past dirt from Vegas. It's our NASCAR 75 flashback. Where are we headed?
Let's go all the way back to 2007. Xfinity Series racing. Back then, it was the Busch Series, old school. Just before they take the white flag, Jeff Burton in that 29 car, more than 5 car lengths back, but he is on the move. Time is running out, though, and he's going to have one shot at Kyle Busch in the 5 car, and Burton goes to the high side in 3 and 4. Maybe a little contact off the corner, but Kyle Busch goes around. Jeff Burton gets the easy win. Such a memorable finish. Kyle Busch, of course, still at it today, the Las Vegas native, racing this weekend. Maybe he'll get the checkered flag.
All right, well, we have set the stage for you. It's time to place your bets. It's the South Point 400 this Sunday, October 15th. 2:30 p.m. Eastern on NBC.
Make sure you're watching and make sure you're back here next week for the preview show delivered by DoorDash. She's Kim, I'm Alan. We'll see you then.